Hello and welcome. It is the end of the 20th day of June 2017 as we head into the 21st. The summer solstice is upon us in the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice in the south, in Australia and Argentina and such. Anyway, let's take a look, not really at the markets too much, but yeah, I'll go over a little bit. I'm definitely going to talk about Bitcoin a little bit. But I really want to talk about, well, Bitcoin as far as just fundamentals and it's how it's going to move in price and how the world is, stuff like that, within gold and silver as well. And that will be it. So only a little bit like the new stuff, not the stuff I've already talked about. But as I've stated, break of resistance has happened, and if you're long and here, well, you're up a little bit. And of course, I do expect this to continue to rise higher. Now, I read something very quickly in a troll box about India that is going to be or making it like a legal tender in some form or another. So I think that's going to be very interesting. The Webbot stating that this is around the time where these things are going to start going much, much higher. And we'll see how this works out. Let's take a look at the daily chart. And its mode is basically just leaving its band. So watch out. And that's really all I'm going to say. I mean, I've already talked about big candles that should appear. But this keeps going higher and higher. And this isn't like we're looking at any type of traditional market that I and pretty much everybody else has always seen in the past, the historical markets, whether it be the stock market, the commodities market, the forex, any of that kind of stuff. And the free market keeps pushing it higher. You can give multiple reasons. The obvious, people realize not only that it's going up in value, I mean, that intensifies the situation, but the main one is because of the debased fiat global currencies within the world. So why do I expect there to be much of a chance for this thing to, it's just going to, it's over for it. It's going to be a long-standing bear market like it was in silver. You know, if silver would have traded in the free market, do you think it would have done that? And you know what, let's put that chart up. And we're looking back at a while, start of the millennium, 2000, 1999, and of course the key period. And would this have been a case in a free market where people are buying and selling actual silver in which can be deemed for and used as such when needed? None of this fractional reserve crap. None of that bullshit. No. Shorting, unless you can find a way where it can tangibly work, you can definitely sell into different markets with it and all these types of things. But if real physicals being sent, okay, I got an exchange where let's say I got 82.175 ounces. Well, you can't get all that. No, of course not. That's true. But I can get 50 ounces and get it removed from my balance, or 82 and leave it, and I'm sure maybe to get a 10 ounces of silver with the premiums, the way it works, it costs like 10 point, maybe 27 or something of that nature in a way of a free market. And I think within these cryptos, it's like a no-brainer, easy way of getting it to work that if you have some sort of real bullion vault, a real company that has many locations in like every city and a few towns where people can literally deposit and some silver there and get the cryptocurrencies, or they can ship them out in these traditional style where, okay, so I ship 100 ounces of silver. Next thing you know, I got 100 ounces on my account. I got 100 of those tokens. And I can trade them in the markets. I can trade them for Bitcoins. I can trade them for everything that way. And then when I have those tokens, I can go in there and get the delivery. And then anytime you get delivery, okay, I'm going to maybe get 50 ounces. And as I stated before with the premium, maybe it costs like 50.89 or whatever that number is. And okay, the silver's being shipped to you, or you pick it up at the outlet. And now those 50 tokens are removed from circulation because that silver is no longer there to back it. But when you put new silver in it, you would add it in the real tangible level. And the same is true with gold and any other precious metal or any other real commodity of that nature. And I wouldn't be surprised if something comes into form when this whole banking stuff comes to an end and the shit hits the fan, basically. Next thing you know, these currencies, which I wouldn't be surprised me in the crypto land because of its popularity, that as we move forward into the summer, into 2017, that within gold and silver, they'll exist to such a form. And I think it's going to be an interesting ride, to say the least, because as the control is being lost, then the free market, to me, will only come out and play. I like to think of the analogy like a tidal wave, and these are powerful forces. And whomever those entities, as you want to put them, that control the silver and gold, but mainly the silver prices, are able to hold these waves from coming in because they're very powerful. With these consistent waves, no matter how powerful you get, you're going to have to get more powerful. And once you lose control of such, and you've already built all that water up and it just bursts through, that's the type of momentum that for years that I've been thinking is going to play out when all of this comes down to play. And the time is now. The time I've been talking about for about a decade is coming into being. So now as I move on to the gold chart, as I switch from the tidal wave image, it's like I've talked about this in the cryptos for a while now, up and sideways. This almost looks how like the Ethereum has been going, or all these other cryptos. You have these big up moves, you go sideways, and then up again. Same thing with the whole long term. When it went up in the 1970s, went sideways throughout the 1980s and 1990s, and of course now resumption of this uptrend long term, and of course the long correctionary move. And it's been 100% in the past in which gold has been able to prevail whenever any type of debasement of money has occurred within past civilizations, pretty much anything resembling a fiat currency, backed by nothing, in which the people lose confidence in, because that's how it's all written in the textbooks. And that's always an interesting thing, because I can remember going into college and I was in an economics class. And of course, they never taught you anything about stuff like fiat money. No, nothing at all. And about 7 years or 8 years ago, I happened to see my textbook, and I thought, you know what, let's take a look at it and see if I can find anything about it. And sure enough, there was one page and there was one paragraph or two paragraphs within that one page that did explain what fiat currency is. And it even stated in there that if the people lose confidence in it, it could lose its decree. So it's been written for years and years that it's basically just a faith-backed system, as when you went off of the Bretton Woods gold standard about a half century ago. Temporarily, they may state it too, and it still might be temporarily, as it could be gold. And I'm going to talk about that now in a few seconds, that we've been at a dollar standard now for this half century. So it's an interesting thing, because assume I'm asked something like, okay, in the year 2025, what will be officially, and if there is no such thing, practically the official world reserve currency? And if you say that there won't be a world reserve currency, that's an answer in itself. Will it be the dollar? Will it be some other currency, fiat currency that's already in existence? Will it be a new type of currency we don't even know of? Will it be gold? Will it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, some other cryptocurrency? And I don't know the answers to those because I would be very surprised if it was the US dollar. And I remember talking back in like 2011, 2010, you know what? It's only going to take a few years but for it all to go down. And I remember stating, but to be safe, it could take up until the end of this decade. And it's now getting closer. It's been a long, long period of time since we had the situation back in 2008 when you had the whole financial crisis thing, the fake or the basically real inflation, 2009, the whole prop up of the stock market. So it's just concealing the time now for what has been very close to a decade in period. I would be extremely shocked if this whole thing continues like it has the last, 7-8 years, this whole time frame in here. And the world doesn't really change much. Bitcoin will do its thing, but nothing much is going to change on a monetary economic level. No, of course not. It's going to, I think, happen soon. And if you've been following me for quite some time, you know, I talked a lot back in the day about 2012, the Mayan calendar, which would have came to an end somewhere around here. And one of the things I stated that was the information anyone gave no tangible or proof or evidence towards that date. A lot of the information presented within it is, to me, that I found is accurate as anything, but I could never find when this whole point date, as they call it, which is a big change in the world for my research and right now we're going through such. I don't know when that is. But I do see things coming to a major period of time. And then throughout all of this time in here, it was like, yeah, at some point it's going to happen, but not anytime soon. And at some point, the silver market's going to retreat. I've been waiting. I would have not been surprised, rather, or if it did something like this, because I figured back in here with these gold and silver markets that, geez, if this thing's going to blow up even in like 3, 4, or 5 years, it's going to take a long, long time for this thing to really fall because, quite frankly, with prices of gold and silver at this level, they got a long, long ways to go with gold prices and silver prices this low before there's going to be a major play. And I go back to the whole tidal wave theory that if you hold it for much longer, that's why it could be possible, I guess, where you could end up having silver 1 month be the price today, say around like 17 or 15, 16 US. And I'm used to Canadian dollar right now. And then you see the price later, like maybe just a couple months later, $30, 35. And then a year later, 710. I mean, what happened in that year? It kind of did that in the 70s. And any type of major, quick, lose control can do such a same thing. I've seen the volatility on so many charts. Like if it does the same thing Ether does, it wouldn't surprise me if it has the same sort of luck. And that's why I've even been thinking with like the Bitcoin to silver ratio, which is probably going to soon hit 200 plus, that we can see that number go like 300, 400, 500. But when this thing starts to go, that's when you're going to see that number probably go lower. And same thing with the gold ratio as well on Bitcoin. And then when you can end up getting a whole whack of gold and silver for such great prices within, well, it doesn't matter really what these gold and silver markets do. It's really about the Bitcoin. And myself, I'm looking to buy some precious metals, and I kind of have to by the end of the week on Sunday because, well, there's a special that ends on that day. But I want to buy in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin prices, well, they're going higher. And gold and silver, technically they're going lower, but I'm the type of person that likes to pick out a bottom. And let me just put some shorter term charts up. Like this gold chart, it's kind of got quite a few red candles down, but I mean, it did here as well. And does it really matter too much? I mean, silver, same thing. I don't need to put that up to show the example. But the way I look at it is if you're planning on buying precious metals and practically anything, for that matter, that moves in price, and you want to buy it with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a lot more volatile than gold and silver anyway. So you're talking about, oh, what happens? Oh my goodness, what happens if, say, gold goes up like 2.5%? Maybe silver goes up 5 or 6, and you're going to notice it. But when you see Bitcoin prices doing things like going from 27 to say 4,000, which would not be a surprise. Oh, it went up that, and Bitcoin went up 40 something percent, or even Bitcoin going up 25%. It's better if this situation were to occur, if you're planning on buying gold and or silver, to not buy now and wait, knowing that, say, in so many days, whatever period of time, that with these prices, say, at 13, back at this top of this range, that's a gain of, say, 55 points. It's better to wait for this to happen and then see Bitcoin prices go up like 20%, because you'll get more gold, or it will cost you less Bitcoin, or a combination of the two. So today, maybe I can get, like, say, for 1 unit of Bitcoin, say for 1 Bitcoin, well, that's just, with 1,245, I mean, the ratio, I can get a little better than 2 ounces of gold. But let's put the silver prices back up again, and we'll get the actual ratio now. And we can see it's at 1653. So with Bitcoin prices in at 2760 now, I can see the ratio is at 167. So where should this? Where do I really honestly think this is going to go? And I think several folds higher. And I don't want to give the number for how many folds, but several folds is an increase greater than 300 to 400 to 1. Whether it could do anything closer to the 1,000 number, well, the way things are going, it really wouldn't be the biggest of surprises, because quite frankly, as much as I talk about this new bull market that I think is going to be coming into play, really probably you should see upward movements in the summer, but really fall big time. But if the big moves that I've talked about like 10 minutes ago actually happen, I would more expect that to be 2018 kind of situation. I mean, I'm not going to count on when, because it could happen easily on Halloween for all I know. Because when things happen fast, they happen fast. You obviously count it out. But because it seems it's happening soon, it's a chance. But anyway, yeah, the ratio wouldn't surprise me if it went 5, 6, 400, 700 to 1. But I'm thinking this is a time where, as people say, the gold, silver, it's going to go back to its historic ratio of 16 to 1. Well, this will go back up. This will go up to that number, and I think it'll go back to its historic silver to Bitcoin ratio. And well, there's no such thing really, but I think it's going to come back down to 150-ish or whatever. So rise so much higher. And then when the silver gold explosion happens, you might see a situation over like maybe a 2 to 4 month period where silver gets a 6-7x gain in price. And when Bitcoin does whatever it's doing, maybe 50% gain, 20% loss, doubling in price, it doesn't make a difference, because it's going to be better at that point to have turned your Bitcoin into silver and ride that wave higher, or that part of your investment higher. And my long-term thinking is I'm already in the silver game, and I have been for years, and I want to keep adding into it, and I'm doing that slowly but surely. But there's going to be coming a time, especially with Bitcoin prices going higher, and I've been increasing my Bitcoin bankroll very nicely thus far, where I can get more silver. But I'd be looking, when the ratio is 300-400, 500, and I don't care if I buy big at 3, 4, 450 and it goes all the way up to 6 or 7, because I know the amount that I'll be getting is going to be such a beautiful amount. So I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to pretty much be forced to say, well, I really don't need much. I need this, this, and that, and I'd probably be buying this, and that along the way. But I think that when the silver ride is at beautiful portions, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy I got in, I think it's going to be selling into gold. And you know what? Market conditions will tell you then what you get into. Say this happens in 2024, 2023. This is when I could be talking now. Okay, well now, the gold to silver ratio down to 16-1 on this historic level. Okay, maybe unload a little. At this stage, I think right now it should be around 9 or so. And that number is going to go up or down as the days and months and even years go on further. That I think the real number, whatever it should be. And there's multiple reasons why I think it's 9-1. And I even think that's a conservative number, because I think make a case where I should even go lower. And for a while, Cliff High's been talking about what sounds like would be like a flash move down to the 1 number. Sort of like a situation where something keeps going down, and then you get something like a boom like this, and then it just maybe not pop up that wild, but maybe does something like this where it goes down to par, and then it settles back in between maybe a 5 to 10 range or something, like within the week. It wouldn't surprise me if I don't know, maybe something within that kind of nature. Now let's put a different kind of chart up. This is from Fred, which is the Federal Reserve, basically. This is the M2 money stock. And this is the M1 money stock. And you know what? At least on this one, you can say we do have a little bit of deflation every now and again. The odd month, we have a red candle. Now, practically every single red candle gaps higher and closes near. But you know what? This was a down month. Deflation in here. And now let's expand it out just a little. No, just a lot. And this is my life, basically. This is the duration of my life. So we're looking at a little over 40 years here. Notice when the break of resistance happened. 2008, 9, when that beautiful recovery started, and the numbers went from 14 up to 34. So real inflation, I guess in this sense, is well over 100%. And this is, of course, reported numbers from the Fed. But more people waking up to this Ponzi scheme, and from my point of view anyway. So all I can do is just wait and see and prepare the best that I can, because things are going to change in the world when this happens, and it really isn't a matter of if. It really does become a matter of when. So I do get interested sometimes to think, man, like who's got the edge? Gold, Ethereum, US dollar. What's the world reserve currency going to be soon? I think it's going to be gold. I really, really do. I don't think Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency of the nature is going to do it, because gold can work on the blockchain technology like easy. To me, it seems like a no-brainer. But we'll see. That, to me, if I were to pick a favorite, that's where I'd be going. So thank you for tuning in. We're now around 25 minutes, and hope this was helpful, insightful, entertaining, or any of that type of mumbo-jumbo stuff. And have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.